Tangles, Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Team Lines of Poetry Collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms. I'll leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Happy Wednesday, my friends, and happy first day of fall. I am so excited. I totally love fall. Can't say I'm like a hardcore fan of pumpkin spice or anything, but I just like fall because that means it's getting cooler, and it's just meaning that it is almost hoodie season, and I'm pumped. Well, I guess now, since today is the first day of fall, we could say it is hoodie season, but it's still pretty warm. But I cannot wait to rock my one-piece hoodie again because I got into hoodies last year. So anyway, sorry for that morning ramble here, but I am so excited that you're here. It is Top 5 Wednesday, and if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday was formed by Lainey back in 2013. The group is now since on Goodreads, and our current host, Alex, creates a series of prompts, and each Wednesday we answer those said prompts. Usually they're about books, but in this case I do manga, and today's prompt is the fall cozies. Celebrating the first day of fall, what are some books that give you fall vibes? This was so hard for manga. I was like, is there a biasness towards fall in manga? Because like you can find so many with spring, like very spring centered. You can find some summer centered ones, but actually finding fall centered reads or like giving those cozy vibes was really hard. And I had to go ask friends for help on this one. I currently have all of these. I think I own one of them that I'm featuring today, and I don't have the other one on hold at my library, but all of these I picked up from my library, and I guess just kicking right off, we'll start with number 1, and that is Laid Back Camp. I have not actually read Laid Back Camp. I know that it's seems really popular, as well as the anime, and it just centers around these two girls loving camping. They're experiencing camping, though I think when it kicks off, I'm not quite sure that they are like fans of camping. I can't remember. I feel like one girl isn't like a hardcore camper until later in the series, or at least things I've picked up from online of what I think people have said. I've wanted to read this series for so long, and I just have not got around to actually picking it up. And I have a few other series that I picked up from my library, but I didn't pick up this one yet. But it's, like I said, it's been on my TBR for a good hot minute, and it felt like it had good fall vibes. I don't think all the stories take place in fall, but they looked so cozy on the cover, and they were just bundled up. I think they were sitting in front of a fire, and I was like, that totally shouts fall vibes to me. So hopefully Laid Back Camp counts for a fall vibe manga. For number 2, I'm gonna do a different manga for this, and totally bear with me because it probably does not give any fall vibes at all, and that is Bakuman. I chose this because as a writer, and any other writers here, you probably have heard of NaNoWriMo, and that is National Writing Month, which takes place in November. And so I chose Bakuman because when fall hits, even though I realize that it's like only September, people are already starting to gear up for NaNoWriMo because NaNoWriMo, the goal is to write 50,000 words within the month of November. And that's usually like the equivalent of like a short novel. So quite a few of my friends have already been talking about National Writing Month. They're talking about like stories that they're thinking of writing, and just there's starting to be more like writer articles that are talking about things to prepare yourself to be ready to write those 50,000 words. So I wanted to spotlight Bakuman as fall cozy, fall vibes, because it just makes me think of fall in NaNoWriMo. I have also wanted to read this series for a good hot minute, and I have just the first volume on hold at my library. It's in my hands, but I picked it up from my library. I'm wanting to pick up the rest of the series because I believe my library does have it, and I've just heard so many good things about this. I know my friend Kara Janes, who is a manga writer and is just a novel writer and such, and an artist, has talked about how inspiring this series is to her. I think also Sani at Somewhere Nice and Calm, I think she's buddy reading this. No, I think she's been reading Bakuman as well though, and she gave it 4 stars. So after I actually saw her recent review, because it was posted last week I think, I was like, yeah, it's time to like bump this up and actually start reading this series, because I am a manga writer and I feel like this series sort of like tells you about or gives you like an inside look to the life of a mangaka, but also just sort of teaches you how to do some manga, like maybe like low-key teaching, but it's still there. Sort of like how Blue Period is and Metalist. Both of those teach you about, well, Blue Period is about art and then Metalist is about ice skating. So yes, long story short, thinking about writing and any stories with writing, even if it doesn't have those actual fall vibes, it still makes me think of fall. For number 3, this one I had to do because I reread a little bit of the first one and it just, it made me so happy and it gave me those fall cozies, and that is Snow White with the Red Hair. I realize the whole series does not take place in fall, but it is so relaxing and I feel like it's just one of the perfect series to just bundle up and read on a cold day. I can't get enough of this story. I mean, I'm like woefully behind, super woefully behind, but it is just so good, and I know there are certain parts that definitely take place in the like fall-like season. So I feel like this one would count. Maybe not the whole series, but definitely certain parts. For number 4, I am super pumped to be spotlighting this because so many people rave about this series. I know the Mangas thought this one. I've seen Pippa at Strawberry Shoujo, as well as Charles at Beneath the Tangles, and that is The Girl from the Other Side. And also, Charles was the one that was like, I think that would count as a fall cozy fall vibe. So shout out to Charles from Beneath the Tangles. Thank you. I am so excited. I read a little bit of this yesterday before filming this video, and like of volume 1. Oh my goodness, I love it. It is so sweet. Like, it is just really, really good. And I'm like, why did I put it off so long to actually like try it? I have, I think, volumes 1 through 10, and I think volume 11 just released. It is so good. It is just excellent. I'm like really looking forward to like sitting down and just binge reading this whole series because it's just a sweet story. It's very different from what I've read. And the monster guy here, like, despite that, he is definitely an outcast, but I think how the premise is that the humans can't touch these monsters and because they will become cursed. But the young girl was abandoned by her family, I guess. And so she's staying with him because he found her, I'm assuming, in the woods, because I skimmed randomly through the manga. I did not start at the like beginning of the volume, but he's taking care of her and it's just really, really great. Like, this is a perfect fall read, at least from what I have read so far. It definitely has some winter vibes too, but oh my goodness, the story is so good. So I'm definitely hoping that I continue to love the series because I definitely plan to come on here and do all the fangirl ramblings of why this series is so awesome. For number 5, I'm also really excited about this one because I did not know that this mangaka that wrote this series had written another series. And hopefully I'm saying this one, like the title right, but it's Liz-Lot and Witch's Forest. My friend Mariah Jane recommended this and our library had it, and she is the same mangaka that did Fruits Basket. Just shocked. Has anybody ever heard of this series? And have they read it? Like, I was shocked. I mean, like, when it comes to that manga, I mean, all you ever hear about is Fruits Basket. And I think she has this series and then like one other series. I have not done much skimming through this one just yet because I was totally sidetracked by The Girl from the Other Side. But it seems like it's very fall cozy, and it definitely gives me a little bit of Snow White with the Red Hair kind of vibes because the main girl here, she decides to leave her town that she lives in for some reason. She takes her her twins, I don't think they're her kids, but like sibling twins with her, and as they travel, they come across what's known as the Witch's Forest because supposedly like witches live there, but they're more of actual herbalists. They don't have any magical powers from my understanding, but you don't want to be associated with that forest, and I believe their main girl might actually become associated with it. No, a guy saves her, And then that sort of begins this journey of her, this forest, and I guess maybe becoming a herbalist. I'm not 100% sure. But the art is very beautiful. Definitely gives me the fruits basket, like, I would say vibe, but like that Monica's special touch that she has. And I'm really, really curious to try it, and I'm hoping that I enjoy it. I love Snow White the Red Hair, so I feel like with Mariah saying it gives some of those vibes, I'm like, I can't go wrong with this. So I'm really glad that she recommended this series to me and that my library had it. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do an honorable mention because I picked this up because of Marguerite's manga. I don't necessarily know if it has fall vibes, but it's got those cozies, and that is Giant Spider and Me. I've seen this manga before, but like, it has a giant spider, and I was sort of unsure, but she said it was super cute, and I was like, okay, I will take the leap here, and I will try it out as well. I was skimming through it yesterday because I picked it up before doing this video, and it is so sweet. It has some of those fall-like elements because they live up in the mountains. It is a post-apocalypse novel or manga, and so yeah, they live up in the mountains, and it's sort of their story of living alone and just the things that they do. I think they mentioned they have like tea parties and they pick flowers, and it definitely has a lot of yummy food from my understanding in this story. And that concludes my top 5 fall vibe manga, which was so hard to find. It made me actually want to go and write a story about a girl who loves fall but can't find any fall like novels. So we'll see. I just thought it was a fun idea. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What are some fall cozy manga that you know of? I would love to hear your recommendations, especially because fall is amazing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching. Bye!